I'm opposed to zoos as well. I mean, I'm a hypocrite because I take my kids to the zoo because I just want them to see these animals. I can't change the fact that it exists, but the idea of this animal prison is really kind of fucked.
Yeah,
it is. It depends. There's a lot of them to do animal husbandry, but when it gets to a tiger walking the same 40 yards in its exact footprints, and he's the experiment. He's the one to keep the species going. I do feel for that guy. I feel for that one guy who didn't choose to be this guinea pig to keep this. I want to go free. I go, a species. I do worry about that individual animal because I do.
And even more so, fucking SeaWorld. SeaWorld's the craziest.
That's disgusting.
You find out how intelligent these goddamn
documentary was amazing.
Blackfish. Horrifying.
They're people.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
It's literally
the deception that's going on.
It's like having an alien that you can't understand. So you're like, I don't know what you're saying. Get in the cage. Do you want to eat? Yeah. Well, you know how to flip, so you got to do that.
You know what's so fascinating about that is they tell you in the documentary in Blackfish that those orcas in captivity are the only ones who their dorsal fin leans over. There's no such thing as that happening in the wild.
No.
So like it's basically giving you this signal. You can actually see them.
It's whale depression.
It's whale depression. It's whale depression. And they also tell you how you can actually see so much cooler shit if you go on instead of going to the
right when you want to just see them in their natural habitat and realize that the ocean is their home. There's no way you can make a tank big enough that's going to accommodate what these animals are used to and what they need.
But I always think, whatever you're into, there is an ethical alternative, and if there isn't, fuck it. You don't,
then just don't do it.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
No doubt.
You can go clay pigeon shooting. You can do. You don't need to see something die in agony for fun. You can shoot targets.
You're not a fan of hunting, then?
Yeah. Well, no. Thing is, it's a matter of degrees. For me, there's a difference between someone who goes out
sport
and
hunting
has
or
to catch food for his family, just like animals do, and and let's face it, so, an animal that's lived a great life and is a clean kill, and you eat every part of it if you're a meat eater, is better than some of the food industry, whereas chicken's been literally tortured all its life so you can buy a chicken for $2. So, it is a matter of degrees, but it's the trophy hunting. I don't... Why kill a endangered species? Why the can hunting is disgusting. They've just been bred, and it's so easy. It's not not clever. Of course you're going to win. You've got a fucking gun, right? There's no... I know the result. You win. You've got a fucking gun, right? But it's the macho. What turns you on about killing a thing for the sake of it? You're not going to eat
that
it.
Woman that shot that lion, and she was there with the lion as the trophy. It's like, nah.
Well, there's not just one of them. I mean, the lion thing is fascinating because they're all in these high fence operations as well, and these people go over there and they pay money, and it's under the. What's weird is here's what gets really strange is like that's where a lot of the conservation
funding comes from people
hunting.
shooting the animals.
A rich twat can buy
like the rhino
for
thing.
$50,000 or something.
$350,000 black rhino thing, but
why can't you give the money and not shoot it? If you've got $50,000 to spend on a bullet going through an animal's head, let's give the money and not.
Well, the issue with that rhino
great person
too is that rhino they needed to take out. That rhino was an aggressive male that was no longer breeding and was killing. Had the potential for killing younger rhinos.
We were talking about that.
Kill
it's
that
like,
rhino
well,
anyway.
so what? That's what he does.
But the other thing is, if something needs to be done, why does it have to make it into a sport and fun? When I had to have my cat put down, if the vet said, "Do you mind if I masturbate?" I'd say, "Yeah, I do." Why getting fun out of something that's necessary? Do you know what I mean? Why do you have to get fucking weird? If it has to be done, it has to be done. But you don't have to go around fucking bragging about it and getting off on it.
And make a game out of it.
I mean, why make a game out of it? You might as well do it. You don't do that when they turn the machine off. You know what I mean? So turn the machine off. Is it going to be on or off? Okay, let's bet now. But why make a fucking game out of it?
Yeah.
Do you mind if
the idea is that this money that they spent, this $350,000, is going to go towards helping the ones that are going to stay alive preserving them and allowing them to spend money and allow them
that's
to
the quandary
maintain
then,
their
right?
habitat. But the real quandary is that their habitat is all fenced in. It's a really fucking weird thing because it's kind of like hunting in a zoo.
Right.
Because you're pretending that they're wild animals, but there's a fence around the whole operation.
Yes.
So it's very strange. Like they guarantee these animals are in there. They're not fucking going anywhere.
Yep.
Right.
And they're saying, well, this is this all this money goes to the renewable resource and the conservation of these animals, and there's more animals today because of the hunters' efforts. But man, when you see the way they hunt these animals, like these lions are just sitting there. I watched this one show where these lions are sleeping, and this guy sneaks up on them and shoots them with a bow and arrow. I mean, while they're sleeping.
Fucking battering. I don't know where the other thing about it is
you don't even eat lions.
No.
But let's put this in context. Imagine someone saying, "There's a guy. He's going to give $1 million to cancer research. All he wants is to shoot one cancer patient." just choose one that's definitely going to die.
One that's an asshole.
He just wants to shoot in the head. But then he's gonna give $1 million,
tweets.
and we'll probably cure cancer.
Yeah.
What do you think? I'll talk to Mrs. Brown.
If he gives $2 million, he can shoot a kid, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? It's
There
when
you go. Just set them loose.
Yeah,
I think
brilliant.
the craziest thing with the hunting
That's
is
brilliant.
people hunt. I know a guy who showed me he hunts at a feed. And I thought that was the most bizarre thing.
Wow.
That, like, he goes, we have a tree stand.
So they're
a
still...
feeder.
Yeah.
So, and they know when the feed comes out.
Oh
and I'm
my
like,
God.
so what do you
That's
do? He's
not,
like, well, you sit here and you just shoot it when it's eating. I'm like, well,
That's great.
That doesn't
well,
seem
see,
like...
that's is that
the
better
cure
than
for
farming?
obesity.
You know, is it better than farming? I mean, the idea of farming is you have all these animals, they're penned in, eventually you're going to kill them and eat them. Well, if you do it ethically and humanely, most people aren't too opposed to that.
Right.
The idea is factory farm is what we have a real issue with. But if you were going to farm deer like that, just have like a feeder and every now and then just snipe one from a distance. I mean, if that's how you're going to get your meat.
Again, everything being equal, where is the fun in these people that call it
I don't
sport
think that's
and a
fun.
rush?
Yeah, that's not.
It's not. You know, I don't know. Their excitement must literally be that I put the bullet in its head. That must be. That's the only thing you can reduce.
Yeah,
it
there's
to.
not even a hunt that's going on where they're stalking or there's some strategy to it. If they're laying down and the guy kills a lion that's laying down sleeping, there's no...
And you don't need to, and you're not going to eat it, and it's purely, it's reduced to purely for the fun of saying I killed
killing something.
You know what would be a
Right.
great thing? If a lion is sleeping, if you walk up and you slap it on the balls and then run away, that's something you should feel really good about. Like if you get away with that.
Now I'd allow that as a sport.
Yeah, of course.
that is a
Because
good
I know the
sport.
lion would win. Nine
great
times out of 10.
9 times. The 10th time, he'd be going, did that cocksucker just slap me in the balls?
Or there'd be one Jim Norton lion who'd go, do it again.
No, you realize it was just a lioness with balls. And you have to give her extra.
Yes, we get it.
Yes.
Made the point.
Yeah.
There's a great a video I saw the other day. I guess they were helping out this leopard who was causing some problems in some village, and they decided to relocate it. So they put him in a cage. They drive him out however many miles, and it's a couple of African guys in the cab of this truck, this pickup truck with the cage in the back. And the leopard, they opened the door, it wouldn't get out of the cage. So the guy opens the door of the cab of the pickup by the steering wheel. He's hanging onto the steering wheel, and he's kind of poking the cage to get the leopard out. The leopard comes out, turns right the fuck around and charges at him. He shuts the door, but he left the window open. This fucking leopard jumps in the window and just starts clawing at this guy. It was like when fucking Newman got killed in Jurassic Park. It looked like that. The truck is shaking. He's just screaming. And it's all on video. It's great. And I'm just laughing like, the leopard's getting you.
Didn't you hate that scene in Jurassic Park where he gets in the truck and the thing was lurking in the back like a fucking rapist? It's like it's a prehistoric animal, but it understands, hanging out in the back seat. Oh, he does this before work. I'll hide under the paper. What happened? It's a fucking dinosaur.
Yeah, our relationship to animals is a very strange one.
Pretty shitty, actually.
Very strange. Yeah. It's very strange.
Well, it's because we like animals. We love them as pets, certain ones and stuff. But we also have this thing where we need to eat them.
I think that we think we're not animals. I think that's where it
Right.
comes from. We
Yes.
think we're not animals, and obviously we are. And we think that it's all for us. we were put here on this earth. It's all for us.
Right.
That's the common attitude. Yeah. Well,
there you go.
Isn't it? I mean, isn't the Bible?
I think a lot of it
Bible
comes from.
It's all been put here for our
take your quiver and your bow. Let
do
all
what
those
we
animals,
want with.
all the game.
There's
be yours
the big
or something.
shark, Carl, at the moment in Australia.
Yeah.
Right, they're starting to kill a bunch of sharks.
And they're saying, you know, the people that are, you know, for it are saying, but, you know, it's dangerous if you go into this particular bit of sea. Don't go into that particular bit of sea. Problem solved.
Yeah, there you go.
When the sharks are getting out and getting you an internet cafe, let's still...
Well, what they need to do is make some sort of fucking bulletproof surf suit.
There you go.
You know, make some surf suit where you could get bit and then it's just a freak out. He fucking bit me and
Did
look,
you
nothing.
see that? Cool.
Nothing.
Yeah,
that'd be pretty cool.
Some really super light chainmail.
Yeah. And
Every time I stick my dick in this meat mincer, it chews it up. Don't
do that.
yes,
right.
Meat Mincer is not actually her name, but
That's just a nickname.
yeah, she's earned it.
We really have not figured out that shark thing. Like, there's really no good defense against a shark if you're in the water with them. They really win. There's just win.
Nothing you can do. And they break apart those shark cages sometimes. A big one would get in there and start hammering it. They're not meant to withstand the impact of those fucking sharks.
They're amazing.
Amazing animals, yeah.
600 million year old.
They're the cleanup. They're the cleanup crew. Just like mountain lions are the cleanup crew. Just like lions are the cleanup crew.
Yep.
I mean, nature has a full system.
They have a conveyor belt of teeth. It just, the new ones, they just keep coming.
Yeah,
just keep
that tells you right there. All right, you know what his job is. If he has to replace his own fucking teeth.
With a shark, you can't get any footing either. That's another thing that sucks.
No, it's like, you got no leverage to kind of work against the shark.
Yeah, all you can do is
hit
swing
him in
your
the
arms.
nose. You always hear that.
Meanwhile, every action equal and opposite reaction. You go to hit against the nose, your body goes back.
Yeah.
So you really got nothing. So you're getting half of a watery punch. I don't think the shark gives a shit.
Yeah.
No, that people have survived. They've survived like in a foot of water and been dragged away without their feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, out in open water, it's very
There's nothing you can do.
Yeah.
The shark bites you and realizes you're not. You basically have to rely on the shark not enjoying your taste.
Right.
Like if he bites you and says this is not what I want and lets you go, that's the only way.
At least it's fast and there's not a lot of terror and agony during the whole thing.
Well, they think you're seals. They always think you're seals, don't they? They don't.
Yes.
It's not
Do they love a seal?
They don't apologise.
No.
I thought you were a seal.
I thought you were a seal.
I'm in half.
It's pretty amazing when people go into water at all.
Imagine going to a restaurant, they serve you a nice filet mignon, you go to cut into it, and it goes, hey, I'm not a filet mignon.
Exactly.
You're like, it's not my fault.
I bet you on a shark radio show right now, they're talking about cruelty to people. And you know, sometimes they just bite one and they don't need to bite them. They know what it is. They pretend.
Yeah. I do eat all the human. If it's, I don't do it for fun. Like some friends do it for fun. I do eat all the human.
Yeah, well, look at Harry. He's got a surfboard collection.
It is fascinating our ethical relationship with animals. You know, that we do decide like what's the good way to kill them with the least amount of cruelty,
and which ones we'll leave alone.
Factory farming and all these.
And when did that come about? Was
debates.
It always like in our primitive stage? Did we care how we killed an animal?
I think we probably used. I mean, that was the thing about the Native Americans. They used all of the animal, and they showed respect to the animal because they had this symbiotic relationship with these animals. They needed the animals to stay alive, and though they hunted them, they had reverence and respect for them, and they would, do buffalo dances and do all these different things with it.
That was a very spiritual thing more than it was like caring about the animal's feelings.
Well, I think I think it made sense evolutionary speaking because they knew that it was like not over farming and over hunting. They knew what to do to have a crop next year, whereas then you guys came along and just killed every buffalo and you couldn't even eat them all.
Technically, it was you guys.
It was. In those days, it was us, wasn't it?
Let's get that right.
It was us, wasn't it?
It's the same gene pool. You're still us. You're still us.
That's true.
Yeah. Us or Dutch. English,
something
Dutch.
in there. It is an evolutionary thing. But then we get to the point where you have so many people to feed. You can't be coddling every chicken and making sure he's got a lot of room. It doesn't work out mathematically.
But we've always been the humans have always been like locusts. They ravage. They don't, you know, they don't worry about it. They're even early, sort of, what would be called cavemen, 10, 15,000 years ago, they discovered they could run mammoth over the edge of a cliff.
Oh, God.
And they killed 25, but they couldn't eat.
It's hard to kill a fucking mammoth.
Yeah.
You gotta figure out what you gotta do. You don't have a gun. You don't have a car. You don't even have heat. What are you gonna do? Run these cunts right off a fucking cliff. I'm starving. My kids are screaming.
Your eyes are bigger than your belly. You're not gonna eat all that, are you?
Fuck this elephant.
I'll eat it later.
This big hairy elephant thing.
Yeah.